Hi everybody, it's David McKeever and Richard Hunley, brokers with Advanced One McKeever Real Estate, back with your Ask the Broker show. It's Friday, that means it's Ask the Broker show. And today we're talking about what we're seeing as far as trends in today's marketplace, forecasts for 2021, foreclosures, forbearances, all that good stuff. And I just want to jump in and talk about some concerns I'm hearing basically from people online, here in the community about all concerns about the housing market crashing in the future because of all the forbearance numbers and upcoming foreclosures. So I wanted to come on today and really talk about some facts, some real data that we see in today's market.
Yeah, I would think just with what you said that 2021 is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, and I have some charts here for that. But first off, I want to jump into the amount of forbearances in the marketplace across the United States. And I'm going to put a chart up on the screen here. Back in May, there were 4 million people in forbearances, almost 5 million people in forbearances.
What is forbearance?
Yeah, that's a great question. So forbearance is basically the lender who has the loan on somebody's home. Mm-hmm. That person can't make the payment. So instead of filing a notice of default and then a foreclosure, they're basically putting a pause on their mortgage. They're saying, hey, you don't need to pay. You've been affected by the pandemic. Therefore, we're going to pause your mortgage. Any missed payments will be added to the back of the loan. So, Richard, a lot of people were concerned that the forbearances will ultimately turn into foreclosures.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of May, like I said, we had 4.7 million forbearances in the United States. And over the last few months, they just continue to decline. If you're looking at the chart, they've declined July, August, September, October, all the way through November. And today they sit at 2.79 million forbearances in the market. And another chart I don't have, but a lot of the people in forbearances do have equity in their home. So if they were to actually go in foreclosure, you'd think they'd sell them prior to going into foreclosure.
Well, that benefits us as the realtors. We'll have sales out there instead of foreclosure sales, which does make a big difference.
Yeah. So there was an interesting quote by Lawrence Yun, who is the chief economist at the National Association of Realtors. And he did say if there are any foreclosure increases, they're likely to be quickly absorbed by the market, and it will not lead to any price declines.
That would be totally true in our market. What are we going through? Total lack of inventory. So if we pick up a few foreclosures, that's a good thing. I see that as a little speed bump in the road.
Yeah, and matter of fact, the amount of listings was down 64% from 1 year ago here in Stockton. So it would actually, as sad as a foreclosure is, it would actually help our local real estate market as with those buyers who are able to buy.
What I wonder is, how are the banks really going to handle these forbearances? I mean, did they have to fill out some paperwork when they just stopped making their payment to be able to get forbearance?
Yeah, they did have to apply for it.
So that means a lot of people didn't do it and they just stopped making their payments.
Possibly, yeah.
And that'll be interesting to see how the banks handle that, whether they, give them a break and pass the payments, on to the end, or whether they do put them into foreclosure. I think the banks will try to do what they can to not have as many foreclosures. And okay, David, you haven't made your payments in 4 months. We'll just add 4 payments to the end, start making them again right now.
That's the idea.
That, I hope, is what they do.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Yeah, that's the idea. All right, so getting into price forecasts for next year of 2021, I do have some experts who've predicted what they think prices are going to do. And according to Realtor.com, they think the 2021 forecast for home prices up 5.7%, which is that'd be really nice if you're currently owning a home. National Association predicted 4.5%. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae are in the 2% range. and the Mortgage Bankers Association is about 2% range as well. So
Now this is for the whole year?
that's for the whole year, and also nationally. So obviously things are different depending on which state, which city you're in.
Yeah, we just did the numbers for Stockton, and I think we went up that 5% last month. That fast.
Exactly. So they're looking at a national scale, and they're also looking at the amount of forbearances. They're looking at the amount of foreclosures potentially, and they still are seeing future price appreciation, which is pretty good news. Last chart is one we'll throw up, and it's all about supply and demand. Back in 2010 and 11, the inventory levels, the amount of homes on the market were sky high, and that caused prices to drop. And over the years, as those homes got sold and inventory levels continued to decline from 2012 until today, prices have done the reverse. Inventories, the lower inventory is gone, the higher the prices have continued to go up. And that's going to be a factor moving forward on keeping an eye on what inventory is doing. If we start to see inventory can go up here in the next, 3, 6, 8, 12 months, then there could be a flattening of home prices.
Actually, and again, right here locally, we need inventory because it looks like we might be heading in such a bad direction with lack of inventory that we could hit the wall the other way around, that there's just nothing out there. Mm-hmm. So a little bit of inventory would help us. Across the nation, it'd be interesting to see their numbers, but boy, our market is really different than some of these numbers being shown here because our prices are going up at a way higher scale than they're predicting. Mm-hmm. And I think we'd have a lot more sales than they're predicting too if we just had more inventory. So, yep, low inventory means higher prices.
That's right. So that was the information we wanted to share with you guys today, a little bit on forbearances, future prices here, projections in 2021. And we'd like to know what your comments are. Let us know what you think the housing market's how it's gonna perform next year. If you have any questions for us, put that down in the comments as well. And if you want to stay in touch with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button and let us know that you care and you want to watch more videos. So thanks everybody for watching and listening to our podcast today.